Happy Friday, everyone. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you and taking your phone calls. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. And, of course, you can email us about anything and everything at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. It is Friday. We are this close to the weekend. You're hopefully driving home right now, ready to start that weekend. And one of the things that I really loved about listening to talk radio for the past, 20 years of my life, 25 years of my life. How old am I? I'm 38. So I've been listening to talk radio probably since I was 12 or 13. Is I loved when, whether it was the Tom Leykis show or the Adam Carolla show or the Conway and Whitman show on KLSX, when you would do open phones on Fridays, when we got through a whole bunch of topics. We talked about all the rough stuff. Now it's time to have some fun. If something's on your mind, you can call us up, 800-222-KABC. Maybe there's a story that you heard earlier in the week you want to comment about. Maybe there's a drop you want to request. Maybe you got a food recommendation for me. We'll get to all of that, 800-222-KABC. I was just digging through my old audio files, and we used to look forward to every single Friday at 10 o'clock when I worked on the Conway and Whitman show at KLSX, because we had this bit where when we would open up open phones, we'd have Brian Whitman do an impression of Tim Conway Jr. opening up the phones. And I happen to have sound of what that sounded like.
All right, gang. It's Friday night, man, and it's time to finish up the week, man. You leave that another week, man. Time to totally open up those phones, man. 520-9710 or 888-520-9710. Anything you want to talk about, anything we talked about, anything you think we should have talked about, man, get on the line now, man. Let's do another episode.
All right.
That piece of tape has got to be 17 years old, and I listen to it all the time. But that's what we want to do here on Fridays. Totally open phones. Now, it's still happy hour, and I'm going to throw out a happy hour topic every single week where we talk about different food, different drinks, different recommendations. I want to expand to more than just a neighborhood this week, though, because I have a very specific request, and I got a bunch of people out there in the audience that can help me out with this. Here's my dilemma in life, because I have very serious problems. Sometimes I feel like having brisket, but the process of smoking a brisket yourself is quite the task. Now, I have a Traeger. I have smoked a brisket several times. I've actually gotten pretty good at it, and that's not just me saying it. That's my wife from Texas saying it, so she would know. But boy, is brisket an undertaking. It takes 18 to 20 hours. You have to buy it in 14 to 16 ounce portions, 14 to 16 pound portions, so it's a real commitment. And the thing about California is I have yet to find more than a handful of places that do good barbecue that also do brisket right. Do brisket the way that a Texan would say that is good brisket. So if you happen to live anywhere in the Southern California area and you know a good barbecue place where they do fantastic brisket, specifically brisket, I want to hear from you. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I'll give you one. I have one recommendation, and it's fantastic. It's in Culver City. It's called Maple Block Meat Company. They're on Washington, right there at the 405, and their brisket is legit. Their drinks are good, too. Everything is good on that menu, but their brisket, you can get, and you know someone's doing it right when you buy brisket and they say, how much of the fatty do you want and how much of the lean do you want? Because as my wife taught me a long time ago, the best brisket bite has a little bit of fatty brisket and a little bit of lean brisket, and hopefully a nice spicy vinegary barbecue sauce. So if you got a brisket recommendation for me, give me a call, 800-222-KABC, or you can email me, randykabc@gmail.com. In just a couple of seconds, we've got a brand new update on a Hollywood Road diet, but first, it is open phones. You want to talk about anything going on in Southern California, call me right now, 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Morris in Studio City. Morris, you're on the News Blitz. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. You know, we hear about a governor and the homeless and the shelters,
And when you need help on a personal level, that have your homeowner, you pay taxes, they break in your car, the police say we don't come out for that. My argument is constantly need tax money for more homeless projects, and I personally see nothing out of it. And all we hear is sanctuary cities, illegal, broke the law coming here, and yet our good government, city council, gives away your charity, your hard-earned money for what? Where is it going to? The toilet? We as a taxpayer see nothing, get nothing, hear nothing, and it's continuous like that. Can't go out at night. The homeless or drug addicts are stripping the wiring from the street lights, and in our area it's dark everywhere. What do we get out of this? I don't know what to make of this anymore.
I totally understand what you're saying. We are a high-tax, low-result state. We don't get a whole lot for our money, and we don't see it, but we sure see millions and millions of dollars getting wasted every single day. I hear it all the time. Thank you so much for the call, Morris. Appreciate it. That's all you got to do. Blast away. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Totally open phones on a Friday here on the News Blitz. You want to complain about the city council? I want to hear from you. You got a brisket recommendation for me? I really want to hear from you, because as much as I want brisket, the problem when you smoke it yourself is then I have to eat brisket for about 5 to 10 days. Hey, let's go to Leo in Newbury Park. Leo, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hey, Randy. I love the show. You hit a kind of a sweet spot with me with brisket. I love brisket too. And you said, call in if you know a really good place. Do you know where Tehachapi, California is?
Oh, my grandmother lives out there. Yes, I do.
There's a place there called Red House Barbecue. And if there was ever such thing as like gourmet barbecue, it is definitely them. Their brisket is so tender and so moist. I mean, they don't shred it. They cut it in slices like tri-tip, but it just dissolves in your mouth. It's amazing. And if you're ever up there, if your grandmother's up there, she's probably had it. It's I recommend. I know it's a trip from Culver City. I used to live in the South Bay. I live now in Ventura County, but it's amazing brisket. You got to try it.
Oh, you know what? A really good brisket is worth driving for. I mean, people do brisket tours up in Texas. So I'm looking at the website right now. This looks like my kind of brisket. My mouth is watering right now. I'm going to get so fat this weekend talking about brisket.
Yeah, it's amazing. And everything there is amazing. My girlfriend, Dawn, and I go there all the time.
Oh, it looks great. Thank you so much for the call and the suggestion, Leo. I appreciate it.
You bet, Randy. Have a good weekend.
Have a good one. It's totally open phones. You want to talk brisket? I'm here for you. You want to bitch about something you heard in the news this week? I'm really here for you. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Mike in Irvine. Mike, you're on the News Blitz. Hello.
Hey, Randy. Good to talk to you again. I've called in a couple times and had you and John laughing a couple times. Bad to the Bone in San Juan Capistrano, right on Ortega Highway. It's right near the 5. Pretty good stuff. Haven't been there in a while because I don't work down there anymore, but it's still fantastic.
They call themselves the ultimate barbecue experience. I every time I get a barbecue recommendation, the first thing I do is look at pictures of the brisket. And if the brisket looks like I could pull it apart easily by holding it with my fingers, and it sure does look like that down there. That looks great.
It was fantastic. And there's another place called Smoked in the Circle at Orange. But the last time I was there, the brisket was real fatty, and it was, so I haven't been back in well over a year. So it's one of those things where, you know how you, if you have one bad experience, you kind of don't want to go back. That was the experience I had because the bartender was a pain in the butt. But in any event, Smoked has other good stuff. Bad to the Bone, fantastic. And if you ever get out to Keller, Texas, there's a place on Main Street. Oh, wait a minute. They closed. Never mind. They were the best ever. Anyway, you rock. I appreciate everything you do. You're fantastic. I'll talk to you soon.
Well, Mike, you're fantastic. Thanks for calling in. Always love to hear from you down in Orange County. All right. Anytime I get a recommendation, I try to give them a follow on Instagram. So Bad to the Bone Barbecue. And the other one was Smokin' Orange. I'll be sure to check that one out. I just got to know where more good brisket is. Because the thing is, I'm such a brisket snob now that if I'm going to buy and smoke brisket. My wife goes to Snake River Farms, and we got a Wagyu brisket that we smoked. It took 22 hours. It was amazing, but that means that's your whole weekend. That's a whole project. And then, unless you have a whole bunch of friends you're going to cater to, and the last one I did was for a Super Bowl party, and it was great, that you just, at some point, you're like, this is too much meat. And then I start dropping it off at all my neighbors' houses. So yes, my neighbors love me. But that's what we do here. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Totally open phones. You get something you heard about in the news that you want to complain about? I'm here for you. You want to talk brisket? I'm here for you as well. Whatever you want to talk about, it's Open Lines Friday. 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Michael in Camarillo. Michael, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hi. Hey, Randy. First of all, I just want to tell you, I've really been enjoying listening to you and John over the years. You guys' humor, it's just a lot of fun listening to you guys. But I want to talk about something seriously. You know, John interviewed the lady who owns the restaurant called Casa Vega in Sherman Oaks, I guess. And I just want to encourage all your listeners, and I know you have a lot of them, to go and support that business. I feel really bad for those people. They're being harassed by the homeless. The insurance company dropped them. I just feel really bad, and I think sometimes you just got to get behind people, and that's what people should do, is go there and eat and support them. That's all I got to say.
You know what's great, Michael?
Thank you for all your humor.
Well, thank you so much. You know what's great about Casa Vega is, and we loved having Christy Vega on John's show this week, which you can download that podcast at KBC.com. But she told us that even through all the struggles, whether it was COVID, it's the crime, the insurance, everything, that place is packed every single night because the locals love Casa Vega.
Nice. Good to hear.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the call, Michael. Appreciate it. I got to put a quarter in the jar. I am trying. If I do a whole bit about making fun of people for their tics, I can't start doing it myself.
Absolutely.
So that's a quarter in the jar. Absolutely is a terrible tic. And if you ever listen to old episodes of my podcast from 2009 called The Pretty Good Podcast, I said it all the time. But I was 21. I didn't know any better. I mean, I wasn't as bad as Shang Tao, but I was close.
Absolutely.
800-222-KABC is the phone number. It's totally open phones on this Friday. And one of the happy hour things I want to talk about is brisket, because I need more places that make good brisket, because I know one. I know about Maple Block, and now I'm learning about more. Let's go to Justin in Norwalk. Justin, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hey, Randy, fantastic to speak to you. You got to go to Ray's Barbecue in Huntington Park. I mean, this is like the cotton candy of brisket. It's phenomenal. They've got a fantastic story. They went through some tough times, and man, they're awesome. So it's a pleasure to give a shout out to them. I will give you my number off-site. Lunch is on me. Come by. I'll be happy to go with you.
Oh, this looks great. Ray's Barbecue. By the way, they have a great website. 123brisket.com. That's great.
Yeah, you got to come down, man. This is. I've had I love brisket, love barbecue. You know, you go to places and you eat this stuff. It's like leather. It's disappointing. But when you get, again, I agree with you. You get good brisket. It's so worth it. It's like a party in your mouth, man. I love it.
Well, and the thing is, when you have really, really quality brisket, you can put barbecue sauce on it, but it really doesn't need it whatsoever. It's that flavorful. I'm going to tell you right now, Ray's Barbecue's website automatically tells you that 1 pound of brisket will give you some fatty and some lean. That means it tells me they know what they're talking about.
Cotton candy, baby. That's all I'm saying.
I love it. Justin, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. You don't have to shout out barbecue. You don't have to shout out brisket. You can talk about whatever you want because it's totally open phones. Oh, I love this. You want to bitch about LA politics? We can do that, but we do that Monday through Thursday. I love to have fun, and I do love brisket. I really do. Even when it takes 22 hours, there's something, you feel so fulfilled. It's such a big project. And, it's one of those things where no matter who you're feeding, you make them real happy. But sometimes you don't want 14 pounds of brisket. You just want 1 pound of brisket. So that's why we're getting some suggestions. Let's go to Craig in Calabasas. Craig, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Yes, I absolutely have, without a doubt, the best brisket you've ever had in your life. And I'm not a barbecued brisket fan. I love barbecue, but not briskets. When I have a 4th of July party, literally every year, I order double brisket because everybody goes crazy, and I have people coming in from Tennessee, and they go nuts. And it's not a restaurant, but you call Cuckoo's Nest in Topanga. It's on Old Topanga Road, and if it's not the best brisket you've ever had in your life, I'll be humbled.
Cuckoo's Nest Barbecue on Old Topanga. Wow, how have I never heard about this place? I'm right near there.
Because it's not a restaurant. He does this because he loves to make barbecue. The owner is a retired real estate. He's not an older man, but he's a retired real estate man that loves to make barbecue. And I use him every year for my 4th of July party for 25 people. And when I tell you, it is unbelievable, trust me.
I am looking at some of the pictures of some of the reviews. This guy looks like a master smoker. Holy cow. I think that is quite the hookup right there, Craig.
I got to tell you, and as I said, I'm not a huge barbecued brisket fan. I love barbecue, but I like Louisiana and this and I eat the barbecue all the time because his is the best. Not even close.
Yeah,
and
this
I've been
looks
to
pretty
some of the
incredible.
places that have been recommended. This is better.
It looks really great. Okay, if I'm catering a party, I'm calling Cuckoo's Nest Barbecue. Craig, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Here we go. It's Brisket Day, everybody. I'm going to end up eating so much meat this weekend. Let's go to Utkarsh in L.A. Utkarsh, you're on the Blitz. Hello. Did I get your name right?
Hey, yeah, you got my name right.
What's going on, Utkarsh?
It's all good. I just wanted to let you know about a place called Smoke by Fire. It's near Pasadena. It makes some good brisket.
I love me some good brisket. Smoke by Fire near Pasadena?
Yeah.
All right. I am
looking
up their website
I'm a
right
USC
now.
student, so I just go there sometimes with my friends. It's like really juicy, tender.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, and they have a brisket queso fundido on the menu. I could go for that.
Uh-huh. And I'm not sure if you heard about it's totally different from brisket, but since you said that it's open to like chat, there's like this place called Greenleaf, which makes like good like everything.
And where is Greenleaf?
There's one in the USC Village. It's near our campus.
Oh, okay. Greenleaf Kitchen and Cocktails. Oh, that's nice to have a place that's right there on campus.
Yeah. And then there's Gardino. That's, again, another good place where you can have some pasta.
Yum, yum. Boy, I'm looking at the bar at this Greenleaf. That place looks like so much fun. Utkarsh, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it.
No problem. That's nice talking to you, dude.
Nice talking to you. Call us again. It's that easy. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. One more before we go to break. But, hey, we're doing open phones all show long. We could talk brisket. We could talk anything because that's what we're here for. You want me to play a Sheng Tao drop for you? I'll do that for you. 800-222-KABC. Sherry and Reseda. Sherry, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hi, Randy. Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to raise your Sheng Tao with the absolutely, and say, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk brisket.
Let me give you a quite frankly.
You in the valley. Quite frankly. and raise you with a quite frankly. Thank you. I got two brisket places. Smokehouse in Newhall is awesome.
Oh, that's that place on Main that's at the new Old Town Newhall. I walked past it.
Yes.
I want to go back there ASAP.
Yep, it is delicious. And Dickie's brisket out here in the valley on Reseda is pretty good, too.
Yeah, Dickie's is pretty good. Their briskets Their brisket's not my favorite, but they do some really good stuff. But those are some great
Yeah,
local
it's
recommendations I love. Yeah.
It's pretty good, but I really like Smokehouse, and that lady is super nice. Her name is Cherie, too, the owner. She's great.
All right, Cherie at Smokehouse on Main in Newhall, in Odetown, Newhall. That is going to be definitely my next brisket destination.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
Now you got to put a quarter in the jar. Have a good one. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. It is happy hour on the News Blitz, and I want your brisket recommendations. But it's also totally open phone, so you want to complain about something else? You got a story that you think we got to highlight? Here's your chance to call 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. In honor of all my favorite KLSX shows, it's totally open phones. Hey, I could do, we used to do on the John and Jeff show. It was the third shift free for all. Do I still remember this? More topics, better variety, and your phone calls, party people. Oh, I love that radio station. But hey, anything you want to talk about, anything you think we should be talking about, or specifically for happy hour, I want your brisket recommendations because I don't know nearly enough good brisket places. And if I'm craving brisket, I don't want to have to go through the whole undertaking of smoking a whole brisket. But sometimes I'll do that because I love it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. We got Outlaw Music Festival tickets coming up later this hour as well. Let's quickly go to Bernard in Woodland Hills. Bernard, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hey, Randy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Hello. Good. Yes. You mentioned Snake River Farms and Wagyu. I used to order from Snake River, and I found out about this a grocery called Wild Fork. Have you been to one?
Wild Fork? I have not.
Oh my gosh. I buy E5, 100% E5 Wagyu from Japan over there. I actually bought one this weekend, and it was a thin slice. I flamethrowered slices and made it into a sushi Wagyu. Delicious. It was melting in your mouth and was out of my mouth. And you should try looking into that one. Wild Fork, there's one in Westlake Village. That's where I go. I think they're going to have one soon in Studio City or Sherman Oaks. I'm not sure.
I'm looking at the menu right now. Oh, they've got duck breast. I'm a duck nut, so that looks great for me. I'm always looking for a new meat place. So this looks right up my alley.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna do the search right now.
They have cowboy cuts right there. They have prime. They have age. You should check that out. You should check that out.
Oh, they got flat irons. That's my favorite cut of steak. All right, Wild Fork Foods.
Yep. They have hanger steaks too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hanger steaks are fantastic. Bernard, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Love a good place where I can get quality meat. And sometimes we do Snake River Farms. Sometimes we go to Jim's Fallbrook Market out in West Hills. That place is great. Hey, I love talking brisket, but I love talking to you. It's Open Phones Friday. You got a drop you want to hear. You got a story you want to tell. You got something we talked about that you'd like to comment on, or you want to give me a brisket recommendation, whatever you want to talk about, here we go, 800-222-KABC. It's Friday on the News Blitz on Talk Radio 790 KABC. I'm Randy Wang. I'm here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local stories that matter to you and taking your phone calls. It's totally open phones right now, and we're also doing brisket recommendations. 800-222-KABC. Let's go to John in West L.A. John, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hey, Randy, you got a great show, man. This is great. Hey,
thank you.
I'm listening to recommendations and writing them down, but I'm just wondering, Santa Monica, West LA, Culver City barbecue joints would be, any ideas you have or any callers to call in would be one point. And the second point
I got one for you right now. I'll tell you right now, because this is the one that I know. It's Maple Block on Washington, right next to the 405, like across the street from Tito's Tacos. That place is legit.
Really? Across from Tito's?
Yes, right across on Washington, on the other side of the street from Tito's. They got a beautiful patio there. My wife is from Texas. She says their brisket is Texan approved. They got good cocktails too. They got good sausage. I highly recommend Maple Block. They are really great.
Oh my God, I scored. Thank you very much. That's right. That's my neck of the woods right there, baby. Thank you. Well, now here's another one just to throw at you, and maybe you could think about this, is let's talk about shrinkflation on food portions. So if you go get your brisket, are the conniving food sellers doing shrinkflation on us, and they're evil?
Well, I'll tell you this: your local small business restaurants, they don't mess around with that crap. But you know who plays with shrinkflation all the time? It's the fast food restaurants. They've been doing that forever and ever and ever. You notice how they'll be like the chicken soft taco at Del Taco. It's now only 99 cents. That's because they made it smaller. Then they make it bigger and raise the price, and they say now with more meat. It doesn't have more meat. It has the meat that it used to have. They've been playing that crap for decades.
Do you have any strong opinions? Oh my God! But you know, we're hearing Joe Biden make this whole shrinkflation thing. And, people that are selling products are, they have to sell a product at a price, and I think prices are so high that they're getting desperate. To how do we keep the price affordable? And do the shrinking business. I'm not blaming businesses, especially small businesses. But you're saying that you buy a quarter pound of beef, and that's what it is, a quarter pound.
Exactly. Well, John, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Write me at randykabc@gmail.com. Let me know how that maple block is. Let's go to Will in Rosemead. Will, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hi, Randy. Thanks for taking my call. I have two recommendations. The first recommendation, I think, is near you. It's called Dr. Hoggly Woggly Tyler, Texas Barbecue for Brisket. It's on Van Nuys, Sepulveda Boulevard, up by Roscoe. Is it still there? Are you aware of it?
Oh, I'm aware of it. That place has been around since the 60s. I got to tell you, my dad used to live in the area, so he's been there as a kid. I took my wife there a few years ago. It was not for her. The barbecue sauce was way too sweet for a Texan.
Oh, okay. Well, and the other thing I have to tell you about, I'm a tough nut to crack as far as fast food, but Jack in the Box just came out with what they call a smashed Jack. I'm telling you, it is the best cheeseburger I've had at a fast food place in years, even better than In-N-Out. Seriously.
So they're doing smash burgers at Jack in the Box now.
Well, it's called Smash Jack, and believe me, it's better than In-N-Out. It is moist, and the only trouble is, limited time. So what does limited time mean? You go a month from now, it may be gone, but let's hope they keep it on the menu because, from what I understand, it's pretty popular now. But they really hit it this time. I recommend Smash Jack to all your listeners.
I am going to end my diet today. Thank you so much for that. Well, oh my gosh, that looks good. Appreciate it. I'm really into smash burgers lately myself. I'm actually talking to my wife about getting a burger press so we can do it ourselves, because the trick with a smash burger is you want to get that lattice effect where there's little holes in the meat so you get caramelization throughout the burger. I'm really interested in that. The place we like to get smash burgers right now is Eureka. They've got one in Claremont. They've got one in Woodland Hills. And their smash burger on a gluten-free bun, fantastic. We'll take more of your phone calls as we continue here on an Open Lines Friday. Back to the phones we go on the News Blitz with Randy Wang. Let's go to Jamie in Oceanside. Jamie, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hello. Really good show, Randy. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's good to hear people's opinions and voices. I love that. But once in a while, maybe you might have like a segment or something to just give kudos to good things that people do. I think we need a little bit more positive media, because all we hear is negative, negative, negative. Maybe some things that people do really good once in a while is really good. But I would like to give a shout out to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez for giving out a great sum of money to charities, and also Mackenzie also gave out. I really appreciate when people do that. It makes me feel good. But anyway,
we can definitely do that for you. Can I give you a story right now, Jamie? Because I've been waiting to tell this one. We actually had it on the list. We just hadn't gotten to it. There's this guy in Long Beach. He owns a food truck called Brian's Birreria. And he saw an elderly woman getting robbed right in front of him. He jumped out of his truck, chased the guy down, got her purse back, realized that he had been stabbed, and ended up in the hospital for a few days. But this guy's story got on the news. A GoFundMe was started for his hospital bills. It's tripled its fundraising goal, and I'm sure we're going to see lines out the door for Brian's Birria in Long Beach because this guy is an absolute hero. So there's a good deed.
Yeah, great. I mean, I love your. There's also Costa Garcia, if anybody's heard of that, on Chapman and Harbor. He gives out turkey dinners to the homeless, I believe, on Thanksgiving or Christmas, if he still does. And he used to actually go to the store there, and he's a really good guy. He used to go in and talk to people on the floor. I don't know if he does that anymore. I haven't been there in a long time. But as far as the border goes, you said kind of like a open subject. I think we got to get the border away from the politicians. I don't think Democrats or Republicans know what they're doing. I think we need to have somebody separate, some bipartisan group, and figure this thing out. It's like Mexico's been there for a couple, for quite a while, and it's like we're like starting the wheel all over every 4 years. I mean, somebody needs to really fix it and really say, hey, you know what? This is the law. Don't break it. Don't pass the border illegally. Have passengers through roads and stuff or whatever they got. I'm not sure what the true answer is. I'll be honest. I've lived here in Texas, New Mexico for 200 plus years, and I've heard the same song and dance from the politicians. Oh, dude, and I'm really tired of it. These guys don't know what they're doing. I mean, let's get somebody a little bit more bipartisan and say, hey, you know what? Let's figure this out. Also, I'd like to say, as far as briquettes, got to go to my Uncle Alex's house. He's a butcher. Do you remember Piggly Wiggly? Maybe your wife does.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly's like an old Safeway or something. It's in Texas, New Mexico. Used to be. I don't know if they're there anymore. He used to be a butcher. So he used to, pick the best meats. I mean, he got deer meat. He got all kinds of meats, and he made the best brisket. Someday, Randy, I'm going to have to take you and your wife down to Texas and go to his house one day to his ranch. I mean, he has
sounds good to me. We're going to Texas next month. Jamie, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC, and it's your last chance for Outlaw Music Festival tickets. Here we go. 790 KABC welcomes the Outlaw Music Festival with Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp at the Hollywood Bowl July 31st. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. Good luck dialing. If you win the tickets, congratulations. If you don't win, get some of those tickets because you got to see Willie while you can. The man is a legend. Let's go back to the phones. Dennis in Canyon Country. Dennis, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hey, Randy. I'd like to recommend River's End at Canyon Country. It's on the cusp of Canyon Country and Agua Dulce off of Soledad. Best brisket in town by far.
Oh, wow. I've never even heard of this before, and I grew up out there.
Exactly. Yeah, they just opened in June of last year. It's awesome. The river's running year round, family friendly. They got a playground. Go watch the sunset there. Yeah, and I'm always mindful. We're always mindful over here.
Well, you've got to be mindful. Dennis, that looks great. I'm going to check it out. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Bill in La Cañada. Bill, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hi, Randy. La Cañada has a fine Panera restaurant. I often go there with my good buddy Gavin Newsom when he's low on bread. And don't tell Hillary, but I particularly appreciate Panera's amazing Swedish buns.
That's a decent Bill Clinton impression. That's 2 under your belt. I can't wait to see who you call us with next week. Thanks, Bill. Let's go to Mark in Orange County. Mark, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to do some cooking yourself, Omaha Steaks has mail order, and we have competition grade beef, all kinds, and brisket. So it's pretty good.
And you can get a Packers cut from Omaha?
You can get everything from there. You can order. They send it to you packed in dry ice, and you can order anything from them. They have chicken. They have boneless chicken. They have everything. They have filet mignon. They have steak. They have brisket. They have everything. And
my wife used to get their fillets and their flat irons. They are so good. Thank you so much for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. And let's go to one more here. Rocco in Santa Clarita. Rocco, you're on the Blitz. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Randy? I had one was Green Acres Farm Market, and it's over in Simi Valley. Farm Market.
Oh, I'm checking that out right now.
Yeah, that is. Oh, you want to talk fresh meat? They've got all the cuts, and if you go down on their site and look at the beef area, you can go down. They'll show you all the different cuts and all that. Plus, they'll tell you how to cook the different meats and how to cook them in different ways, indirect and all that stuff. Plus, I'm going to add Backwoods Inn for great steaks. I don't know about their brisket, but they're over in Canyon Country on Sierra Highway. I don't know if you know about them.
I don't, but I know them now. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to follow them. Rocco, thank you so much for the recommendations. And that's going to do it for the week. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. So happy to have you. Let me leave you with one of our drops of the week on KABC.
Which is why, under my administration, we rolled up our sleeves and we did the work.
See you next week.